Hello. Hold on. Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Chasing the Whimsy.
Take two.
I'm your host, Ben. I just finished the live stream, and I was riding that high of not making very many mistakes, and then I just make one right now. So that's awesome. This week, we have another birthday coming up with another lady.
Hello.
Okay, well, we said Rhiannon was the first guest, but you've been here since like episode 1.
Yeah.
You are other grandma. What's your first name?
Rhea.
Okay. So we got other grandma with us today for her birthday. She's all excited. I told her a couple of weeks ago. She's like, yes, I'm gonna come over. She's been wanting to do this for a while. So we got some birthday stuff. We got you. I know you specifically wanted to talk about your favorite episode, the Mother's Day episode.
Oh yeah.
Let's start there. What do you think of it?
I thought it was great.
Wasn't it fun?
I thought that was one of your best interactive with the three of you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, talking, combating, remember when and do you remember and be surprised how much you forget until it's brought up again, you know. A lot of things you don't know why, you know. So I did make some notes.
Yes, please, yes.
Yeah, I did make some notes.
What you guys first? So what kind of notes we got? I like it. I always like the idea of writing notes, and I never do. But yeah. I did today for the live stream. Yeah. So I was a little bit better on the Bobby Fischer stuff. Yes. I was, kind of in order and had a path. So like I get taking notes works and makes sense.
Get inspired, and you got to write it down before you forget.
Yes.
Yes, I do that.
I'm still shooting from the hip. I'm still the Wild West right now. All right, so we got some notes.
Okay. Right. At home.
At home.
The store.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the trip that
Rhiannon was correct. If you don't keep up with Mom, she goes. And that's any store you go to. I mean, her and I, we go out, what are you going for? Oh, anything that's shiny.
Right.
That has my name on it, And you don't have to go for a purpose. So, yeah.
She just knows she wants something. She knows, like, somewhere something is needing either, like, an add-on or to fill a space.
Yeah, but this doesn't interest me, so I'm going. And she goes. She hangs a left, So we start looking down all the aisles, and then you catch her about 5 minutes later and say, she's around here somewhere. Yeah. That is true. We all have that problem. Yes, I'm very proud of all three of you kids. You've all made your path in life.
Yeah.
Distinct only upon yourselves. Mm-hmm. My life with each and every one of you is different.
Yeah.
Completely different.
Yes.
With you, and I know you don't remember this, but you do remember the Air Force Base and the first department. You do remember that.
See, I was right?
Yes.
Okay.
I was the sock grandma because you had
eczema,
and I would bring socks, so I put them on your arms because I was the sock grandma. There's no way you would remember that, but I was there for your birth.
So
I was there for Rhiannon's birth a month, a week later.
The socks vaguely sound familiar because I remember the hard. Like my preteens, I had it real bad, legs, arms, and I would have to saran wrap them.
Yeah.
And then I knew I wore socks then, but I vaguely recall socks pre that. But if it goes all the way back to
me,
man, I was all itchy all back then.
Yeah. you're old, but I was buying you socks before then, before Rhiannon, because I stayed with Joyce when she had Rhiannon for, I don't know, a couple of weeks. So I stayed there taking care of you while she was taking care of her, more or less.
And when do we get off of the base? 85? Like, wasn't that, like, so at least a year, because if I remember it.
A year and a half.
Okay, so 85?
Or more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's weird that I vaguely remember-ish that.
Yeah.
And most people don't remember that. What's your earliest memory of you?
I remember being 3. My brother was born 3 years, older. I remember my brother being born. I do remember 3. I remember parts of 4 and watching TV, and Lassie was on. And I thought if we went out and turned it off and turned it back on, Lassie would come back on.
Right.
TV, no, it didn't work that way. I was so disappointed. My sister remembers being a baby in diapers, but she did therapy when she was a teenager, and they brought her back.
Right.
And she fell down and she went "Ooh," on her diaper. She does remember that, but I remember 3 distinctively. I remember cutting her hair, and we made the back page for the Chicago Tribune.
Very cool.
I'll have to show you a picture.
Yeah, because most people don't remember that. Like maybe 3, 4 is where most people start remembering. So the fact that it was like 1, 1.5, and then I remember almost nothing until 12. So
you have to take pictures and you have to revisit them frequently during your life. Because if you just live it and go on, you're going to forget.
Yeah.
And that's with anybody,
Yeah,
kids especially.
That's why I like doing the ones with Mother's Day with Nikki Rhiannon.
Yeah.
Because like things that we haven't thought about in 20 years, 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then because we're going to go down your story here within a couple of weeks. But yeah, I really like the idea of like reminiscing. It's good times.
Go ahead, keep talking more.
No. she's reading the notes. I cut all that out.
Yeah.
Well, I say that, but I never do.
Okay, phone checks.
Phone checks.
With your mom.
Checking in?
Yeah, she used to call me every Thursday at 4:30 because I was going to work. I was driving to work, and she was at work getting ready to go to work. But she always had that time to give me a call. What you doing? I'm ready to go into work. She's out having a cigarette or whatever, And every Thursday she would call me. Like clockwork, right then and there.
She did that for years.
Mondays, and she still does it.
Yeah.
She still does it.
Yeah. If I don't go over there Mondays, I'll get a call Tuesday-ish.
Yeah. What did you do?
Well, no, that's what she's thinking, but it's kind of like, hey, just checking in. Wink. Tell me what you would.
Yeah. Okay. Remember when you guys came over for the first time last year for the jacuzzi?
Yes.
Play date. What was I going to say? I had no idea what I was going to serve because we know you guys eat.
Right.
But you only eat specific things by specific people who do those specific foods. So I had a limited menu. And I suggested Slappy Joe's. And oh, no, not unless you make it like Grandma does,
Right.
So I called and I asked her how she make it. And then I called back to you and said, yeah, I got her recipe. And it was good. And it was tried and tradition. Yeah. And Rhiannon knows that recipe too. So,
because I always feel bad because if you made it your way or out of a can,
it would be kind of okay, but not like Mom's.
And there's a chance that nobody eats it. So now we're kind of like, sorry, you wasted your time.
Nikki was cool when she had the mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Yum, yum. Because, their family doesn't eat that,
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she loves it.
You also mentioned the Mexican food, whether it be enchiladas or tacos, Spanish rice, and potato salad.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, in my family, we grew up with potato salad, Spanish rice, whatever.
Right.
And cranberry sauce.
Okay.
From the can.
Okay.
And someone said that you like cranberry sauce from the can. And I don't know why I never served it with you guys. But that's how I grew up. It's the cranberry sauce, potato salad, and Spanish rice.
But do you use the canned one that has
the jelly? Yeah.
Just the straight jelly?
Yeah, the same one.
Mom, a couple years ago, gave me a bogus can of cranberry that had the full cranberries in it. And I was like, what are you doing, lady? And I threw it away. I felt bad. Yeah, I like the cranberry sauce.
Yeah, that was... And cooking of the tortillas.
The tortillas.
I grew up with my mom doing the same thing, and we used to, and Rhiannon watched me growing up making the tacos, you know. We didn't buy the ready-made shells. We always had to cook them.
Oh, the yellow box. Who was that? Old
Paso.
Old Paso.
Yes. Yeah. But Nikki never liked corn tortillas, so she says, I'm going to make with flour tortillas. So Joyce started making with the flour tortillas, frying it just like I did, because I saw my grandmother do it, my mother do it. I did it for my family. And then your mom said, well, I'm going to do the same thing with the flour tortillas. And she made them really good. I mean, you had to do the prongs just right with the fork and then turn it and make that cup. And, that was tradition that was handed down. But we'll have to put the cranberry sauce back in there.
Yeah, you put that in the rotation.
And her Spanish rice is just fine, although she does it out of the box, and it's Santarans. Yeah. Because she doesn't do rice-a-roni anymore because of the noodles. Right. But she uses Santarans, and that's fine. Rhiannon mentioned the hot tea and toast. Do you remember that?
I do. Your place...
The apartment?
No.
Triplex?
Yes. And then you had the counter, and then, like, there was the table behind us, and then I always ate and hung out on the counter. Mm-hmm. And yes, you still have. Oh, I'm pretty sure you still have the cups, the little white cups. Mm-hmm. And then there was always some toast there, triangle cuts. Dip, dip, nom, nom, nom.
Oh, God,
I love those.
Yeah. I love those. I listened to that Parkay, the birthday, Mother's Day podcast, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. But
it's a good episode.
Yeah.
It was a fun one.
It was fun. It was very fun. Fatso Pizza.
Yes.
You don't remember, I don't know why you would remember the first time we went there. I had all of you kids, and I used to get you on the weekends. Right. For a sleepover or whatever. Because your mom had to work or whatever. But I always had you guys. Yeah. Like I get JJ now. Mm-hmm. But we went to the mountain. And we went around Dreamy Draw Mountain. That's where I used to take you guys. That's where I still go every year with Nikki. And on the way back, we were hungry, didn't know so we pulled in and said, pizza, And then we decided, well, let's get that deep dish. Right. Well, it took like 40 minutes to cook it. I don't know. But it was the best pizza we all ever had. Mm-hmm. Just one piece was enough to fill you up, And then they had the dartboards, and that's how that started. I remember I was playing darts. I was tiny. Yeah. Playing darts. And then you helping me out. And then I just remember, like, we're older guy come up and be like, I don't know if he was like,
like talking to me or if he was starting to like talk to you or whatever, because like I was too young to even pay attention to any of that stuff. But like he was just like, "Oh, this kid's good." He's like, "He's a natural." I'm like, "Yeah, I am," and I don't even know what I'm doing still.
Young. How old do you think when you were young?
Let's see, that would have been
You were
10, 11, 12.
10, 11, 12, yeah.
I did seem to catch on to darts pretty well.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I've always been good eye-hand coordination.
Yeah.
I can run fast, but I can't do anything else.
Balancing the checkbook. I think I balanced my checkbook. Joyce must have got it from me. Rihanna must have got it from her, but I don't do it anymore.
I don't have the patience for it. I tried it. I just can't do it.
I learned it in high school. They taught you
Yes.
how to do that in high school, which they don't do that today.
No, not at all. We'll get Liam on because I want to do something with him of like, they don't even teach cursive handwriting anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't even know what signatures look like anymore. It's going to be like rectal or eye scans.
Yeah.
And then like the arts are all like on their way out. Like I remember playing a recorder. We did choir, like music class. There was a singing thing for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of stuff that I don't think Lane wouldn't have any idea anymore. I went to the bank, not the bank. I went to the post office today, and I felt stupid. I'm like, I know how to mail a letter. Like I get that, but I'm like, I didn't know how to use a flat rate box. And I'm like, so I walk up there, and I guess you could just take the envelopes and the boxes, whatever you want, and you don't have to pay for anything until you come back to ship it.
Right.
I didn't know that, so I'm just standing in line. And I'm like, what do I do? And he's like, just fill it up and bring it in. I'm like, all right. But does Liam know where a return address goes? And what address goes?
Probably not. That has to be taught. Somehow you have to get it.
Right?
It doesn't come osmosis.
No.
Yeah. I do sign language.
And he doesn't receive mail enough to realize where like his name is consistently in the middle. And then how much do stamps cost nowadays?
I have no idea. I buy the forever stamps.
I think stamps are like 53 cents.
I don't know.
It just seems like a weird model, the post office. Current postage. We're going to look it up here, guys. Current postage. Allowed 68 cents for first class. Postcard, 53 cents. Okay, 53.
I remember it was 23 cents.
I remember one was 44 cents.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, but there's a lot of weird things that
you have to be taught.
But what's interesting is like there's zero reason you, my mom or Rand would ever teach anybody how to balance a checkbook. Like we're in theory one generation away from never knowing what a checkbook was.
Right.
Like Liam's never seen a payphone, probably. So like he's already a generation removed from payphones.
Yeah, I remember the
rotary.
Rotary, yeah.
Or the very long curly cord that reaches in every room of the house.
Oh yeah.
Like all those things are just they're like we'll never see them again. Yes.
Fish kisses.
Fish kisses.
I was doing it this morning. I got from my mom. I pass it down to Joyce. Joyce pass it down to you. So, I mean, you guys, you have to pass it on to your next generation. And butterfly kisses with the eyelashes.
I like butterfly kisses.
And the Eskimo kisses with the nose. So all those.
But somewhere, and I don't remember what or why, I would convert all my kisses to animal noises. And I did that for years.
What kind of noises?
Animal noises.
Okay.
So it would be like, instead of a kiss on the cheek, it would be like moo. I know I did it for a while because for whatever reason I just didn't like the idea of like the kiss.
Yeah.
It was always just a noise, some animal noise. I don't remember why.
You were inspired by something.
Something.
Yeah. Okay.
Box tops.
Box tops.
Yes.
That's what we gave you guys for school. And it says you could scan it for your school. I took that off a box, and they're still doing that today for schools, for donations for schools. You collect those things for your kids, and they take them to school, and they get credit, money from the government or whatever.
But it's not enough.
I know it's not enough, but it's something.
It seems weird to make you, the consumer, jump through these hoops to spend 53 cents and mail a bunch of these things in to get like pennies on like pennies for each one. Like there has, like, if Kellogg's was like, yeah, like, I don't know. I just think it's a weird model.
Yeah.
It's an outdated. Well, you can scan it now.
Well, this is a brand new one. This came off of.
But the idea and the model of
Right.
just seems way outdated. Thank God they let you scan it now.
Yeah.
But am I mistaken? Wasn't there a thing with Fry's receipts?
Something to do with receipts.
But some grocery store and receipts.
Right.
It wasn't that often. It was maybe like, I only remember maybe 2 years out of it.
School year.
Yeah. Okay. Because Raina was like, nah. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure I'm like, that our mom was hanging out collecting.
And the box tops.
Yes.
And bottle caps, I think.
You used to be a smoker. Did you ever do the Marble Miles or the Camel Cash?
No.
Mom did Marble Miles for a little bit, I thought. In like the early 90s. Because I always take them off the sides. And then there had them in stacks of, I think each barcode was worth 5 Marble Miles. And then they would be in stacks of hundreds. And then like a drawer would just have like rubber bands of like all these are staples of all these, like, I don't know if she ever, who was it? I was thinking she got like, I don't know. They had to have gotten something. Phil used to do Camel Cash and he ended up getting like lighters and stuff. But it's so funny because the same thing as the cereal tops.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, cigarettes, let's just do the same thing. Yeah, they don't do that anymore. I don't think you're allowed to advertise cool stuff when you smoke.
Okay, Christmas ornaments.
Yes.
And your mom has a special ornament for every person in our family and extended family.
Yes.
And it's your special ornament.
Yes.
Except you can't have it.
You can't have it.
You can't have it. It stays at her house. But it's, that's how we know you're part of the family.
When did she start that? When she, it would have to have been
this house. I mean, the house she's in.
Which was 08, 06, 08.
Yeah.
And then with Liam?
Before Liam.
Did we all have custom ornaments pre-Liam? Or was Liam?
Oh, yeah. Before, yes. Rhiannon has a couple of them. For a while there, she was like a girl high heel shoe.
Yeah.
And then she was a motorcycle. Her and Bob did motorcycles, and I had a couple of them as the family grew.
Right.
I would be in with all of the names. It would be snowflakes, and every snowflake had your names on them for grandchildren and stuff. Edwin was a chili pepper for a while.
I think he's still the chili pepper.
She does upgrade.
She does like I was a piano for one year, and then she's like, all right, well, fuck that. He doesn't play piano anymore, and then I converted over to something else. Liam went from trains to baseball to now wrestling.
Yeah.
Which one am I now? What's so fun too is you tell the kids, so when we go, it's find everybody's ornament, and then I know Liam likes looking for everybody's and making sure that they're all there and trying to remember why they have the one that they have.
Yeah. I don't know any other family that does that.
And it's fun because it's not like she's got her routine.
Yes.
Literally, the tree's done before 6 p.m. Christmas Day.
Right.
Shoo everybody out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sit down, relax, and have a cigarette, and then boom, it's done. I'm watching the rest of these movies for the rest of the night.
All right.
It is a fun tradition for her. She does like them. She got her own little, like, they're all in the box, and then the ornament graveyard when one gets retired.
It goes to a special box.
Yes.
And it stays there.
Yes.
Because it was a part of the family at one time. We don't throw them away.
Right.
They're still in the vault.
That is fun.
Yeah.
It's gonna be fun one just to like. All right, for Christmas, we're gonna go through them. Hopefully by then, Mom jumps on at least once, and they're gonna make her go through all the ornaments with us.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be nice.
I would like that.
Yeah.
All right, what else? We got some notes.
The only other thing is, I never remember us having an argument. Ever. I never fought or disagreed. I might have an opinion. An argument, heated words. I've never had heated words with Joyce or any of you kids. Ever. That I recall. It doesn't happen in my family. It doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
I lived in a Richie Cunningham Happy Days life. My sister, who's a twin, lived in a dysfunctional home, and my mother agreed with her. I said, how could it be dysfunctional? And they both told me it was dysfunctional. I says, but I lived in Richie Cunningham Happy Days.
Right.
And I was positive, and I was looking thankful for today and tomorrow and my blessings and whatever, and happy and
they just saw it a completely different way.
Yes, same family.
It's not like it was like an age difference, or one was a boy, one was a girl, and like we favored one over the other.
Yeah, no. My sister and I were complete opposites. I was an introvert, she was an extrovert, and then it kind of like switched around. I was a cheerleader in 8th grade, and I think she might have been in the stands watching. I have no idea. Although I had my different life. But our family, I don't remember ever having an argument or yelling or screaming or fighting or... Now, sure, you kids might squabble amongst you, but
the yell of leave your sister alone.
Learning about, the tuna fish in the face and things like this, but that's part of growing up.
Right. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I vaguely remember one time because I was a real smart alecky kid.
No.
Yeah, I was known.
And
a jokester.
Right.
One time I vaguely remember, I don't even know what I did or said, but I said something that got you and Mom upset to the point where it was threatened that I would have to eat a bar of soap.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So, but it was me, but never had that back and forth where I was like, I hate you, and I hate you too.
No.
Like, so.
Maybe you swore. Maybe you had cuss words or something, and you don't do that in front of me, and nobody does that in front of me anyway.
I don't know.
Hardly.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I don't think you and I ever found anything to disagree on.
No.
One time I yelled at Mom.
About what?
It was not a good day. It was not a good day. But I went over to help out, and then it was like, whatever, and then like, F you, and I stormed out. So I had one of those, and that was the only time I remember ever yelling at my mom.
Ooh.
So.
And she never told me that. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was right after I bought the house. So it'd been like 06-ish. But yeah, that was just the one time. And then every other one, I can't think of ever. I remember she was always good about trying to understand why. So she would always come in and be like, she even does this now. She's like, do you watch this thing called Beavis and Butthead? And I'm like, I know of it. And then it's like, don't, because it's not good for you. But yeah, I can't think of anything that we ever.
No, I can't think of.
Yeah, we never had that. You're not being fair. I hate you. Slam the door.
Yeah, and feel hurt, and I don't never.
I did get spanked once, but I think I asked for it. Like almost literally asked for it. Like challenged her and be like, "You don't have the balls," and she's like, "Whoa!"
I would do the same thing. Yeah.
Maybe that's why we never did it, because they're like, "You see what happened to Ben? This is what happens when you." And then I know that there were not yelling, but I remember like because I always struggled in school, that third, fourth, fifth grade-ish time frame. I don't, nothing of any significance. So like, but I remember if there was any like serious conversation, it was normally with regards to school. Like, what are you doing? Why aren't you doing this? I'm pacing myself.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I did that for years.
I remember going to you had asthma, and I used to take you to the doctor after school. Pick you and Rhiannon up, and we would go to doctor visit.
And I get a shot in the arms every other day.
Right. And we would always do math games.
Mm-hmm.
I was big in teaching you math, and multiplication and stuff. So maybe I'm babysitting a little girl now. She's 9 years old, and I just taught her 2 timetables.
Very cool.
She's going into 4th grade.
Nice.
Yeah, her 2 timetables. She has no comprehension. No comprehension of math, of anything. When Rhiannon, you guys lived with me for a while, you go back and live with Mom days, and I would ask Rhiannon, do you understand? With the shoulders.
Yeah.
You know what? It took me a while. But when I understood, she didn't understand the word understand. Right. You understand me? Understand. What does understand mean?
Right.
All the time. She didn't understand. And when that light bulb lit up in me, I could teach her anything. Mm-hmm. And she understood. And that was, and she was 5 and 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And not to understand the word understand. So now when I talk to JJ or to any young person, do you know what that word means? Mm-hmm. I don't use the word understand anymore. This means this, and this means that, and you give an example.
Right.
And I've always been a teacher. I teach young people and old people and whatever. When Matthew came to live with me, he was out of the system for a while, and he didn't know how to fry an egg. He didn't know how to do this. He didn't know how to do that. And you got ways to do it, Mm-hmm. But Matthew, next time you do it, why don't you consider, trying this way? Oh, that makes more sense.
Here you go, teacher.
Yeah, and he's a 40-year-old man, that love to have him. He lived with me for 3 years. Fantastic roommate. But he got his wings and he bought his own house. So, yeah.
Do you remember? Because we, most of, we drove a lot, and I don't know why, because we never lived far from anything. But in the cars, Nikki absolutely hates dips.
Oh, yeah.
And we used to have to sing to her and distract her. Pay attention over here.
Union Hills.
Yes.
Or north. Yes.
Yep. And they got rid of it finally after like
Well,
forever.
they filled it in. They filled in the dips.
But
and Crave Creek, that mountain that my car used to chug up.
Yep.
Well, they took some of that mountain away and it made it lower.
Yeah, that one was killing kids. Like that one over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was always fun in the car. It was always some kind of I Spy or some game-ish or something.
I would get you guys on the weekends and we would go someplace.
Mm-hmm.
We would, I heard of a stream in...
We were looking for waterfalls.
A waterfall.
Waterfalls for years.
Never found it.
I don't think they exist. I think that was...
in the desert. There's a waterfall.
I think that's...
Sure, and we would look.
I think that's a grandma tactic to be like, all right, so how do we get them to go outside? Tell them there's a waterfall. There's a unicorn.
Yeah.
And then we spend years looking for this unicorn, this waterfall. And you're just like, it never existed.
We did find some nice places.
We did.
Like Sedona.
Mm-hmm. The
park where you can pull off right past Dairy Queen, going up Oak Creek Canyon. And there was a place where we can go, and we would go a mile in each direction and follow the stream.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got some very good pictures there. But I always miss going to Bisbee. I wanted to go to Bisbee and find geodes.
Yeah.
Some things. We never did that.
I was big into rocks for a minute.
Yeah. I still have a lot of rocks.
I just have my one rock that I like.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We went, I'll show you when we're done, but I took Sophie yesterday. Dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And there, they have this whole, so you walk and see all the dinosaurs, and then they're like, there's an activity, she can excavate a skeleton out of some clay. And then there's a digging area, so you got to dig through all the rocks to find dinosaurs. And then there was one where they had a bunch of flowing water, and they gave her a bunch of sand, threw it in a little sift, so she had to like sift through all the sand.
Yeah.
And then she got a bunch of like gemstones, and she's just all about them. She's like looking at all of them. So she's a big rock person.
Okay.
Her, Kelly, and Megan all like rocks.
Next time she comes over, I'll have to give her a rock.
Yeah, we're gonna go find some rocks. When it cools down, we're gonna go hike or do something, or go, because we used to do pine cones.
Yep. Oh, I love pine cones.
Always hit the park, feed the ducks, play in the sand. For whatever reason, I always remember more than once I would get in the tire swing, spin, throw up,
and go back,
and then just be like, and be miserable, but then be like, I'm gonna do it again next week.
That's all I got.
Oh,
that's all I got.
It was a fun episode. I did enjoy the Mother's Day. It will be interesting what we do next year for Mother's Day. Maybe we get the moms on.
Yeah.
And then you can tell me what your favorite thing was about us growing up. Get mom, you're like, this kid, smart alecky kid is my favorite. I like it. It was a fun episode. It was definitely fun to reminisce about all of those things.
Yeah.
Because they're literally 30 years removed.
I think when people hear someone else's family grow up, situations in life, how they can maybe relate to their own, and not that there's similarities, but the differences in different families.
Mm-hmm.
How fortunate we were that we didn't have a lot of disease.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
we're all relatively healthy.
yes.
Okay, your birthday's coming up. Because me and Raymond try to figure it out. You're 82, 83. You're 81 right now, turning 82.
I'm 80. Going to be 81.
Okay.
You had it for a second, but then both you decided there's 20 years apart,
right?
Until you're.
My birthday is the one that triggers the
1 year.
The 1 year.
Yeah.
I'm the one. Ha!
You were the first.
I was the first.
Okay. Yeah, I'm 80. I was born in 43.
Okay. All right. 81.
Yeah.
And then your mom lived until she was
92. She would have lived longer, but they made a mistake on one of her medications. She developed gout.
uh,
Who develops gout at 92?
right.
And it really killed her.
And then on Dad's side, they were well into their 90s, I believe,
Yes.
too.
We have the longevity gene. We'll all be.
Yeah. Woo woo.
Yeah, we will. We'll all make it.
Yeah, because I mean, you know, we're all relatively doing great now.
Yeah.
I mean, my asthma got better. Nikki's fine. Rhiannon's fine.
Nikki has arthritis.
Ah,
She does.
she'll live a long time, but she won't be. She can't move.
Yeah, I developed high blood pressure this year.
Okay.
The day after I tore my rotator cuff is when I started with the high blood pressure. But I get the pain under control, I get the blood pressure under control, and I'll be back to normal in no time. I'm almost there.
There will be a topic or a moment in the future in which me and the sisters will recant all of the different injuries that you've sustained over the years
Yeah.
with the kids, between the knee and the wrists. Like it's always something never major.
Nope.
But just irritating enough to be like, really? I have to wear this again still?
Yeah.
81.
81. I'm going to lie. I told my sister I was going to lie this year.
What was the thing that you used to say? You were 40 for your 20th time?
The 20th anniversary of my 20th of my 20 the anniversary of the 21st birthday, whatever that was.
Oh, okay. So you're like,
Yeah.
okay. So I never remember what it was, but it was always like, how old is she? And then I'm like, I don't know. She's 20 from 25.
I always said I was 37. For some odd reason, I'm now celebrating the 14th anniversary of my 37th birthday. Yeah, but I tell people I'm 80 and they just don't believe me.
No, absolutely
they think
not.
I'm 60s, 70s,
Yeah.
whatever. But I told my sister I'm going to lie. She said, "What are you going to say?" I'm going to tell them I'm 80. When I'm 82, I'm going to tell them I'm 80.
Right.
When I'm 80,
Every 10 years, you just...
I'm 80,
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I don't believe you. Well, would you believe if I was 83? Yeah. But, yeah, that's all.
We will definitely, because I've hinted at it, we're going to do the life of other grandma. So we're gonna go deep diving.
Yep.
I'm thinking like hang out, a couple of days, but we'll do like 0 to 20, 20 to 40, 40 to so and then just whatever. So I'll let you know so you can make your notes.
Yep.
I don't remember where I was going with this. Oh man, I lost it. I'll come back to it eventually. I got nothing. But I got nothing. Man, I had it right there too.
You were going with us, girl?
Got nothing.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Oh,
you think you're yes. I got it. When we get, we'll do like 0 to 20-ish. When we jump into like maybe in betweens, you think your sister come on and hang out?
I've already asked her and she said yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, that'd be cool.
We'll do a twin thing.
Yeah.
That ought to be interesting because let's see. We were twins.
But you guys you see it completely opposite.
We are.
You are, but you also viewed like, because you were saying that she thought it wasn't as great as you thought it was.
Yeah.
Growing up. So like
we call each other 1, 2, 3, 4 times a day. Either I'm calling her or she's calling me for whatever. We're like girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's like sisters.
Yeah.
I think. Although I do have another sister, Anita.
Mm-hmm.
Other mother. And she doesn't know what a sister. She's never had a sister, so I'm kind of like her sister, and I'll call her once in a while. But she's a dysfunctional part of her family, whatever. But for sisters, Rita and I, we're, I would say, very close.
I would say so.
We live in different worlds, completely different worlds.
Have you guys always lived within minutes of each other?
No, I moved to California, Palm Springs.
Okay.
But I would think, Rita, give me a call, Rita, give me a call. And for some odd reason, she would call me. I'm very telepathic, you know.
Yeah.
I always send her messages. She always got them. She always called me back. Didn't know why, but, you know, and I don't think it's because I'm the oldest or whatever, but all twins have, you know. That
sixth
twin
sense.
thing.
Yeah.
But we were always close. We might have been apart for a year or two here and there, but I moved out to Arizona. Of course, she moved in with us, you know, until she got on her feet. And, you know, she took her family with her. I had a house, 4-bedroom house, and it was only Joyce, Richie, and I, so we had bedrooms that were open. So our house was always open to anybody that came.
Always. Mom did.
Same thing.
Yeah.
You have an empty. I love living alone. I had Daniel with me for 5 years, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. I had Matthew with me for 3 years, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. Men, all men. I've had people, my aunt come and stay with me for 9 months once, and then 6 months, and then away for a year or so, whatever. Yeah, you got an empty room, it means you could have company. But I do love living alone.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely have your sister on. I think it'd be interesting because she's very active in the chats on the live streams and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Which is totally cool. But I think it would be fun to, because we do have a lot of twins within our immediate family circle. We got you, Kelly. We got Sandy and her twins.
Riley and
Alexis. Why do I feel like there's one more twin somewhere? Who else is twins?
Well, Pamela and Paula, but they're the Taylor girls. When you guys were growing up, they used to babysit for me, for you guys.
And they were tall.
Both 6 foot plus, yeah. Both went into nursing.
And what's so funny is every once in a while, it would have to have been maybe 5 or 6 years ago, Mom ran into one or both of them. And they're like, yeah, it's so funny when like you haven't seen someone in 25 years.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, no way.
Yeah.
And you kind of like how what ran into was you kind of stalk them for a minute.
In Vegas, yeah.
Yeah, that's so fun.
I see them every once in a while. We go to the same food market on Thursdays. I introduce them to that. And they live here a lot, right on Union Hills.
I mean, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
So, 81.
81.
How was 80? How did 80 treat you?
I retired at 80. I gave both of my bosses, Joanne and Teresa, that I've worked for 20 years each, that when I was 78, I said, I'm going to give you a 2-year notice. I'm quitting. I don't want to work past 80. And so I gave him a 2-year notice. And then at the 1 year mark, I said, I got another year to go. So at 80, I says, I'm going to be leaving in 3 months, you know, got to replace me, you know. But you can't leave unless you replace yourself. So I did. I found somebody to replace both jobs. So now I just dog sit and babysit.
Okay.
I walk across the street, babysit 3 wonderful little girls. One is 1, one is 2, one was 8, and now they're all a year older because I've been there over a year of babysitting. And I dog sit. I puppy sit,
Mhm.
whatever. I need a new doggy door, though.
Are you happy being retired?
Yes. There are days when I have nothing on my calendar. And some days I just take a day off of life.
Very nice.
And I watch TV.
I don't know if you heard on the live stream, but Mom lost her.
What?
She lost all of yesterday to binge watch.
No! I know.
I love it. That was so fun.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so.
See, I don't have HBO, so I don't
Yeah.
watch those. I do have Hulu, I pay for Hulu.
I'll give you some Hulu recommendations.
Yeah.
Uh,
Wolf was Bear.
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 Oh, you'll love Bear.
Yeah.
I promise you will. It's pretty good stuff.
Okay.
Retired. Why'd you work so long? Like, did you have to work, or was it just like a thing where you're just like, I'm not going to be doing anything anyway. Might as well be
Social
working.
Security. I was married for 20 years.
Okay.
But I took off like 12 years raising kids.
Right.
My husband worked, so I didn't pay into Social Security.
Oh, okay.
So when I started collecting Social Security, it was like $900, a month. So I had to work to
Supplement some of the extra funds that you needed.
to 65. Actually, I was working for a Crackmatic adjustable bed company, and they folded.
Yes.
I was
Oh man, that's genius.
And I do work with my hands, don't I?
Oh man. You guys are gonna have to Google it, but that was a genius. Oh, good Lord, I loved it. I almost missed it. Oh, I love that. All right.
I do work with your hands too. But at unemployment for 99 weeks, I was either overqualified or too old to get a job. And now they'll hire anybody. With COVID, they're fighting for service people, in the service industry and whatever. I can get a job today, even at my age, almost anywhere. But back then, I couldn't get a job, so I'll have to kind of like retire.
Right.
But I did work, for Joanne at the office till I was 65 years old. But then, I work for my sister 2 days a week, and she gives me an allowance for that. And the dog sitting and the babysitting. But I decided to go with the reverse mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
And with my $1,000 a month for Social Security, I'm able to stay in my home.
And just live
Not
out.
paying, a house payment.
Right.
I still pay my state taxes and my house insurance and my car insurance and whatever.
Right.
Of course, I did total my car last year. I had to get a new car.
Right.
It's a 16. I had a old Ford Freestyle.
Oh, you needed an upgrade anyway.
Brand new. I kept it for 18 years. Yeah. I wanted it 2 more years. It didn't make it, but I do have a Ford Edge 16, and I paid it off in a year. So I now have the title for that.
Yeah.
So all the money that I'm making for babysitting and dog sitting are now going into my bank account instead of
paying off somebody else.
Car, I haven't had a car payment in years.
I don't like car payments either. I've been trying to find ways to circumvent.
Yeah.
Like a car payment. I was supposed to get a car this year, but I decided not to. So I replaced the catalytic converter and some other things. So I need the car for at least another year to help.
Okay. How much did you pay for that?
We'll call it $2,000 for everything.
Okay.
It wasn't that bad.
It's still not a car payment.
I know.
My car was 18 years old. I could have ran it 2 more years easily.
The last 2 cars,
Even if you put $1,000 into it, it's not a car payment.
Right.
It's maintenance.
Right.
You can afford maintenance on almost any car, even if you need a transmission.
AC or transmission. I've seen all.
I put in, $200-300 here on that, and I put a new radiator in on whatever, and it was a car before this one, but you can afford maintenance. It's that car payment, that $300, $400, $500 a month for a car payment.
And the interest rates are crazy.
Yes.
No one teaches kids that either. Liam's going to go out there trying to buy a car, and he's going to be like, sure. And be like, no, that's bad on all. The price is bad. The interest rates are bad. It's all bad.
Yeah, my car payment was, I put good money down on my car. It was $201 a month. I've never paid $201 for a car payment. I paid $400. I paid $500. Whatever I got in for my babysitting and my dog sitting, all that money went into that car. Sometimes I paid $700 on a good month, but it took me a year.
Yeah, I have a strategy.
Yes.
Where I was able to pay off this last car like within the month. I just basically take it out of my 401k, so I pay myself back instead of paying somebody 7%.
Okay, yeah.
Like I'm already contributing anyway, and I need the money anyway. So why spend $4,000 over 4 years when I can just pay myself $4,000 over 4 years?
Yeah.
Boom, nailed it. I've always been good with money.
Me too.
No, have I always been good with money?
Have you?
Yeah.
I would say yes and no. I don't know your personal whatever, but you are a collector, and someday your collection, whatever you have brand new in a box, is going to pay off for you.
Yeah.
You don't have a connection to it that you need to keep it. You're going to sell it and give it away.
No, it's changed. I definitely don't sell anything anymore.
But you will.
I will. I'll keep some things that I can't, but I think that's why I collect, is so that way I can justify getting rid of these things, but this one is just for me because it's sentimental of some kind.
Yeah. Some things, but not
the whole collection, right?
Yes.
Where did I get my quick wit in my humor? Where did that come from?
You must have watched comedies because you were always a jokester. You always had to make, even first and second grade, you had to be the clown that people would laugh at, and you would make people laugh, and it made you feel good. Even your teachers would say on parent teacher days, I used to go to a couple of those with your mom, and they all loved you because,
right. Can't get him to do anything in school, but he's entertaining enough.
I'm glad they put you behind because you did catch up.
Yeah.
You eventually got to where you should have been the year before, but you kept it going.
Well,
that was second grade, I think?
Fourth
grade?
In hindsight, with a lot of it, was, so fourth grade would have been 4 and 5 is 92-ish. They didn't test for learning disabilities back then.
Yeah.
I went to the end of my junior year to be like, oh, this kid has mad dyslexia, hence why he can't read and why he can't stay focused on anything. I'm like, oh, would have been cool to know that back in the, yeah. I always liked learning and always felt like I was pretty smart about things, but I just couldn't learn in that environment.
I was a C student all the way.
Yeah, there we go.
And I worked hard for that C.
I didn't work hard for any of it.
I had the encyclopedias at the library, and I figured, oh, we have encyclopedia. What's that? Oh, I'm going to learn. But I fought hard for that C. Rita was a B student. Things came to her easier.
Right.
Which is fine. I learned a lot of other things, that I became good at, like bartending, teaching bartending. I was telling manager Top Shelf that I used to teach my waitresses how to bartend, and they enjoyed it. I used to teach by count and by sight. I was always a teacher of something. I enjoy teaching. It could just be a life thing.
Yeah. Yeah. You always like to see people do more, better, different. Like, just so, did they need to know it? No, but were they struggling with it? You're like, well, let me help you out with that. And you've always been like that.
Oh, yeah.
Not too pushy about it, but you're like, hey, I noticed. Consider doing this next time.
Yeah.
Before we go, favorite memory of me as a kid?
In my swimming pool. I used to love to go swimming. You would go on your back and I had pictures of you.
Yeah.
In my pool.
That was a fun house.
Yes.
Okay. I don't think Raina remembered this. So you walk in the front door, you have that old cast iron rail.
Yes.
And then a dip down into the living room area. Like a little.
That dip down was the garage. That was a 2-car garage.
Oh, shit.
I walked home one day and the wall was gone.
Oh, whoa. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because it looked like a garage, but we never had the garage. But it was, holy cow.
It's a garage.
It makes sense. And then
I didn't know they were going to do that.
And then you had to separate the garage into the kitchen. You had the bars. There were bars somewhere. Somewhere there were I remember doing stuff hanging through the bars, and there was maybe. Well, I got the cast iron thing right, so heck with you, Rihanna.
Yeah.
And then you go down a little bit, and then you turn, and then you had bedroom, bathroom, and then you go up a little bit more. You got kitchen. Did we ever eat at that table?
Yeah, we had family meet. Let's see, when you guys. No, you guys always ate at the counter.
That's why I remember kind of so much.
Always ate at the counter.
Because I never.
Adults ate at the table. But the counter is right there.
Oh, yeah, right there. Like, bump into somebody.
We had neat bar stools. And, yeah.
Because I could not. I could remember 100 different, learning how to take a pill.
Yeah, with a straw.
It took forever because pills back then, you said, this is all so fast, and I hated it.
Yeah.
Now I can take a pill like a champ. But yeah, a lot of crying trying to take medicines.
Yeah.
And then that was a fun house because Rhiannon and I used to go to the neighbors with stuff in the fridge.
We were original owners on that block. Mm-hmm. We decided we wanted to know our neighbors, so me and the girl across the street, we went to each house and said we were going to have a block party. So we had the horses and we had the city block off,
Oh, very cool.
And there was 20 houses, easily, maybe 25 houses on our little street. And we had a tablet which says, would you like to bring a dinner or dessert or a main dish or...
Like a potluck type, yeah.
And we had these big tables, in the street, and we were going to eat and everything. Then it started to rain. Everybody's looking out the door for people to go out,
right.
For the street party. And of course, Richie was an entertainer. He had his, he was the entertainment. So we get our rain gear on. We go to each house and say, hey, come over to our house.
Right.
So we had the whole block party in our house. We had 100 people in our house with the garage door open. And Richie singing. He was a live entertainment. It was the best block party ever. I mean, I had 4 bedrooms, and one room we had cork and wood or something. Mm-hmm. And I would walk through, and there'd be 5 or 6 people just standing around with a glass and a little plate and eating something. And every room in the house had people in it because it was raining outside, And we didn't have the pool, but we had a pool a couple of years later. but it was the neatest way of learning your neighbors.
Oh yeah.
We had police officer, we had a fireman, we had a landscaper, we had a jockey that
Over at
a horse jockey from
Paradise.
Paradise Valley, yeah. He had the best lawn until I planted my lawn. Then I had the best lawn. You just got to meet your neighbors. Everybody knew, and you can go to someone's house and have coffee.
Yeah.
You can't really do that now.
Two random kids can show up and know who they were.
Yeah.
Well,
do you have any birthday questions?
No. No, you retired. Do you have a favorite moment this year of 80?
Actually, episode 2.
Wasn't that fun?
Yes.
That was fun.
Sitting here laughing. Okay. The whole show. Episode. Okay. It was Mother's Day.
Yes.
In my car listening to that. I was in line, and I wait in line for 2 hours in my car, so I did. And I'm laughing. The windows are down. Yeah. I'm hot. I'm sweating, and I'm laughing. And I had to listen to that. I mean, it was just joy, But my family gives me joy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, episode 2. I think, and I don't think Liam's at a point where I don't think he'll fully acknowledge how special episode 2 was. And it's one of those where, kind of like me, like I didn't, get back to reminiscing until the podcast and then hanging out with Mom until my 30s again. But at some point, he's going to be like, man, episode 2 was really good. It was new. We had no idea what we were doing, but we were totally all in. You guys were here, and then just the 2 generations. If he's like, that's not funny, and I'm like, oh, it's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, we were both on our game that day. It was so much fun. I still go back to episode 2 is my favorite.
You made a comment. We should have topics on your podcast. Yeah, like when I brought up the chess dude,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a topic once in a while, you do your research. And I've always been impressed, like, right off the top of your mind, in 1997 something happened.
Yeah.
You know that. And I don't know how you know that. And you might get some of that from your mother. Your mother may still have a photographic memory for numbers.
She downplays a lot of it. She we'll have to go. Oh, we'll get into that one when you come back on.
Oh, I got stories.
Yeah. What do you think now, Mom? No. I know just enough. Like, it's weird. It's like the jokester, comedian, the entertainer. I know just enough that I can go to like any party and know just enough to be able to interact with anybody on any topic on anything, and enough to get out.
And know when to get out. Yeah.
Yes. Because one, I'm surprised you didn't know who Bobby Fischer was. You have to.
I think I might have seen a movie about his life.
No, probably not, because there's not many of them. You might have seen the movie Searching for Bobby Fischer.
I don't know.
Yeah, I enjoyed the movie, but yeah, there's not. But yeah, I do appreciate all the suggestions too when you bring them up. And you're like, hey, fix your. If you didn't say anything
about your glasses,
nobody would have said anything. I'd still be glared for days. And as easy pointed out, I'm like, oh man, that's the only thing I see now.
This is a learning experience.
I'm having a blast with it.
Yeah,
it's so much fun. Did you learn anything this year or in 80? Because you can still learn something.
Oh yeah,
People are always learning stuff.
Not that off the top of my head, no.
All right. We'll edit that out. Sometimes you learn everything.
I'm just enjoying life.
Good for you.
Yeah.
You and Rhiannon both kind of just like in a really good place right now. I think we all are. But you two, like, for whatever reason, just a little bit more different. But you guys are enjoying it. I'm glad to see you guys enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's good to see when, and because it's not necessarily like, oh, everybody's doing great and well. No, it's just everybody's just happy and everything is like not bad, basically.
Right.
Like we all got our own, we still got all of our issues, but it's like
we all live our separate lives, although we never are far from the mothership.
Right.
And that's your mother.
Yes.
And she keeps.
She's the Roseanne of our family.
Yeah.
Keeping everybody together. All right.
I give her credit for that.
I don't think we, and I think I like Mother's Day too. I don't think we gave either of you guys enough credit for 40 years.
Oh yeah, I really did. The only reason that episode ended is because JJ came home from school. I said, oh, I wanted to go longer, and you guys would have kept going.
Yeah.
But maybe next year we'll have the mothers on with the kids.
Yeah. I think it would be fun. And I'm constantly thinking of ideas. So we'll do something cool with it. We'll have some fun with it.
Yeah.
We will have you on. So you're episode 57. Year 1 is coming up in a couple of weeks. I'll give you the idea of what we're going. Let you take some notes. I'm gonna let you talk for as long as for however you want.
Yeah.
And I'll cut it up into 2 episodes if we have to.
Yeah. Okay.
But we'll run a little series with you. We'll go 0 to 20 and then skip a week or 2 and then we'll put up the next chunk of you. And then I think it's going to be fascinating. I don't want to ask too many questions because I don't want to be surprised. But when Liam and I realized that you were somebody for 40 years.
Yeah. That was cool. Who are these people?
It sounds so weird because you're okay. So she's a cheerleader. It's like you never had pictures of you as a cheerleader. So like it was never like, oh, I know what she did as a kid. And it's just like it gets to a point where I'm like, there's literally an entire whole other person that I've never known, and I'm excited to meet that person.
Our owner.
Photographer.
Oh, and you said something about Dick Van Dyke.
Yes.
I used to run into him all the time.
You and Dick having a good old time.
Yeah, and he didn't charge for autographs.
Yeah.
Ever.
I'm going to take you next time so you can be like, yo, Van Dyke.
Yeah.
Remember when? And he's going to be like, hey, how funny would that be?
Yeah.
We're going to do it.
All right.
Well, thank you for coming on. You want to do
Whimsy.